about the Madiba legacy, of which Zinzi was as well. Tackling inequality, a social contract for a new era. That's the theme for this year's Nelson Mandela Annual Lecture, coinciding with the date of the Nelson Mandela International Day. The 18th Nelson Mandela Annual Lecture this year will be delivered by UN Secretary-General António Guterres. And now we speak to Brand South Africa's marketing manager, Tshepiso Malele, about what they're doing this year in their Play Your Part campaign. A very good evening to you, Tshepiso, and welcome. So talk to us about how you play your part in celebrating Madiba and those 67 years that we keep on reminding the world about.
Thank you. Good evening, Tshepiso. Thank you for having us on your show. So as Brand South Africa, we are the custodians of the South African nation brand. And part of our mandate is around encouraging South Africans
All right, let's see if we can
to become active citizens of the nation.
Sorry, we just had a break in our connection there, so you can go ahead, tell us a little bit more about the campaign. You say it encourages people to work together towards a common goal and vision?
Sure. I'm not sure where we got cut off, but I'll just continue. So yes, part of our really encourages South Africans to become actively involved in strengthening the South African nation brand. And this Mandela Day, our Play Your Part program, which encourages South Africans from all around the world, around the country and around the world, to find ways of contributing towards improving the communities that are closest to them. The idea is for us to put out a call to action that says, what is it that you can contribute through the means that you possess, whether it is a talent or financial or any other means that can contribute and be able to uplift South Africa, one community at a time. And this is in line and in the spirit of Nelson Mandela Day. And hence, every single year, we are actively involved in supporting the Nelson Mandela Foundation and calling upon South Africans from all walks of life to get involved actively.
Now, this obviously happens within a context, that of COVID-19, unprecedented times, and also, I think, unprecedented tragedies. And you're saying you're encouraging South Africans to, take the issue of inequality and the pandemic really to heart. How do people do this? Because I find that during this time, people lack the compassion and the understanding of what the next person is going through because they're not going through that.
I think one thing we have to consider is the fact that South Africans are generally compassionate people. The spirit of Ubuntu is something that really is within each and every single one of us. And at this time where we're all facing a common challenge, a crisis that involves every single South African, and now more than ever, we realize that we have to depend on each other, and we all have to play our part and contribute whatever it is that we can in order to get this country over this seemingly insurmountable challenge. So yes, as South Africans in the individual capacity, it is a very difficult time, but we do that as Brand South Africa. It doesn't mean that people will then recoil into individualism and not care about the next person. Indeed, we have been seeing actions already that are being performed by individual South Africans, by corporates, as well as members of civil society formations who have actually gone out right from the beginning of this lockdown that we've been in and finding ways to contribute. People have been contributing food, they've been contributing masks, and so as we approach Mandela Day tomorrow, we know that we will be seeing a lot more of that. Some of our own Play Your Part ambassadors will be actively involved around the country in contributing to the efforts and the activities of Nelson Mandela Day.
This is something that is rooted in South Africa, but has its tentacles everywhere in the world. It is International Nelson Mandela Day. So how do you say to the world, this is what Brand South Africa is? And when we're talking about unity in our diversity, what would you encourage them to do? As you say, we've seen some of beautiful examples here, crowdfunding for people who have no food to eat, who have had no pay for a while, who've got no jobs, for impoverished families.
Absolutely. Unity in diversity, something that we understand very well as South Africans. In fact, it is the very same diversity that makes us such a special country, such a special group of people who really are able to stand out on any international platform. So yes, again, this is a time where
that there is brand South Africa's...
We do need that we as humanities...
Tshepiso, I do apologize. Brand South Africa's marketing manager, Tshepiso Malele,